Hello everyone. Today I'm here to discuss about sustainable development and its goals. Sustainable development is the idea of limitations which is imposed by the state of technology and social organization on the environment's ability to meet present and future needs. A technical definition, it is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The concept of needs in particular is the essential needs of the world's poor to which overriding priority should be given. UNDP, United Nations Development Programme. Today, it works on the ground in about 170 countries and territories. UNDP works to eradicate poverty while protecting the planet. It helps countries develop strong policies, skills, partnerships, and institutions so they can sustain their progress. UNDP India. It has worked in India since 1951 in almost all areas of human development, from systems and institutional strengthening to inclusive growth and sustainable livelihoods, as well as sustainable energy, environment and resilience. Today, UNDP India works to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by transforming traditional models to do development differently. Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 goals to transform our world. In September 2015, the General Assembly adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development that includes 17 Sustainable Goals (SDGs), building on the principle of leaving no one behind. The new agenda emphasizes a holistic approach to achieve sustainable development for all. So, sustainable development with its 17 goals to transform the world for persons with disability and poverty. The SDGs are explicitly include disability and persons with disabilities 11 times. Disability is referenced in multiple parts of the SDGs, specifically in the parts related to education, growth and employment, inequality, accessibility of human settlements, as well as data collection and the monitoring of the SDGs. Although the word disability isn't cited directly in all goals, the goals are needed relevant to ensure the inclusion and development of persons with disabilities. The newly implemented 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development holds a deep promise for persons with disabilities everywhere. So here we have 17 sustainable development goals, starting from first one, the no poverty, where you need to do think and understand that donate what you don't use or you don't need, because more than 700 million people still live in extreme poverty. Therefore, economic growth must be inclusive to provide sustainable jobs and promote equality. Sustainable Development Goal second is zero hunger, where waste less food and support local farmers, because a third of the world's food is wasted and yet 821 million people are undernourished. Therefore, the food and agriculture sector should offer the key solutions for development, and it is the central for hunger and poverty eradication. Third goal is good health and well-being, where vaccinate your family. Vaccinations resulted in an 80% drop in measles deaths between 2000 and 2017. So therefore, ensuring healthy lives and promoting the well-being for all is essential to sustainable development. Quality education. Help educate the children in your community because 617 million children and adolescents lack minimum even proficiency in reading and mathematics. Therefore, obtaining a quality education is the foundation to improving people's lives and sustainable development. Gender equality. Therefore, you need to empower women and girls and ensure their equal rights because 1 in 3 women has experienced physical and sexual violence. Therefore, gender equality is not only a fundamental human right but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous and sustainable world. This is clean water and sanitation, where we need to avoid wasting water. Water scarcity affects more than 40% of the world's population, whereas clean, accessible water for all is an essential part of the world we want to live in. Next is affordable and clean energy, where we should use only energy efficient appliances and light bulbs because up to 3 billion people still lack clean cooking, fuels and technologies, where energy is essential to nearly every major challenge and opportunity. Next goal is decent work and economic growth, where create job opportunities as much as you can do for youth. 1/5 of young people are not in education, employment or training, so that sustainable economic growth will require societies to create the conditions that allow people to have quality jobs. Industry, innovation and infrastructure. For that, fund projects that provide basic infrastructures are required. So roads, water, sanitation and electricity remains scarce in many developing countries. For that, investments in infrastructure are crucial to achieving sustainable development. Reduced inequalities. Support the marginalized development because the poorest 40% of the population earn less than 25% of the global income, where to reduce inequalities policies should be universal in principle, paying attention to the needs of disadvantaged and marginalized populations. Next is sustainable cities and communities. For that, bike, walk or use public transportation because 9 out of 10 urban residents breathe in polluted air, so that there needs to be a future in which cities provide opportunities for all with access to basic services, energy, housing, transportation and more. Next one is responsible consumption and production. For that, recycle paper, plastic, glass and aluminium because by 2050 the equivalent of almost 3 planets would be required to sustain current lifestyle. For that, responsible production and consumption are required. Climate action. Act now to stop global warming because global emissions of carbon dioxide have increased by almost 50% since 1990. And climate change is a global challenge that affects everyone and everywhere. Goal 14 is life flow water, so avoid plastic bags to keep the oceans clean because over 3 billion people depend on marine and coastal biodiversity for running their livelihood. So careful management of this essential global resource is a key feature of sustainable development. In the same regard of biodiversity, which is about a land biodiversity, it is life on land. Plant a tree and help protect the environment because forests are home to more than 80% of all terrestrial species of animals, plants and insects. So that sustainably managed forests combat desertification, halt and reverse land degradation, halt biodiversity loss. Next goal is peace, justice and strong institutions where stand up for human rights. If say in 2018 the number of people fleeing war, persecution and conflict exceeded 70 million. So access to justice for all and building effective, accountable institutions at all levels. The last and 17th goal of sustainable development is partnerships. Lobby your government to its 12 trillion market opportunities and create 380 million new jobs by 2030. So, revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. So, at the last, the Sustainable Development Goals are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges which we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. The Sustainable Development Goals also explicitly include disability and persons with disabilities 11 times. So I hope this video will definitely help you out in understanding that what is sustainable development and what its goals are. Thank you.